What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? So today's video is why black people are sick. And when I mean black people, I mean black people, African people with, this melanin or shades of this melanin, right? So I'm referring to the African diaspora, right? So why black people are sick? The laws of nature, evolution, or the creator, whichever you prefer, has created a systemic pattern where creatures and organisms evolve and grow in their specific location. The geographical climatic realities determine what the creature and organism needs in order to survive, right? So, you will never find a fish that can thrive outside of water. It's impossible. You can never find an organism that does well outside its environment. It may adapt, but it's going to struggle immensely, right? Instead of operating at 100%, it's going to operate maybe at 80, maybe 70 or 60, depending on how far you remove them from their geographical location, right? Furthermore, every creature and organism benefits their own ecosystem. This is what equilibrium and balance is all about. So, lions come from the savannah, right? African lions come in this. They evolved or were created to thrive in the savannah. They have a specific culture that's relevant to lions. A lion is not going to concern himself with the cultural realities or the geographical realities or the climatic realities of a tiger. Despite them both being big cats and felines, the lion will not care what the tiger does because they have two different realities, right? So their cultures will evolve differently. Same thing, a whale will not concern itself with what elephants do. The whale probably has no concept of what an elephant is because the whale is always confined to the ocean. Same thing with the elephant. The elephant is like, if you show them a whale, they're going to be like, whoa, what is this? I've never seen such a thing before, right? What kind of creature is this? How do they walk? They don't got no legs, right? So, when you take black people out of Africa and you place them in a different location, right? Now, these black people are operating outside of their adaptive or specifically designed geographical location. So now they're not working at 100%, they're working at 90 or 80%. Furthermore, when these black people are given foreign religions, foreign philosophies, and a foreign governance system, you can automatically see how the health level is going to decrease. And this is very important because philosophies and religions, worldviews, develop in specific geographical locations. The European context, with its 4 seasons, brutal winters, right, is going to develop European philosophy in a way that makes them see the world in a specific way. Right? Now, if you give that same philosophy to another group of people, let's say a tropical people, it's not going to work. It's not going to fit. Because the tropical people are going to be like, what is snow? What does that feel like? How does that taste like? What does it look like? You can describe snow to them, but then if they never felt with snow, if they never dealt with a blizzard, if they never felt winter, it's going to be a foreign concept to them. They won't be able to grasp it. So the philosophy, they won't be able to grasp until they have that experience and that intimate knowledge of snow and winter. When you name an animal that specifically belongs in one location, right? And you describe it to another group of people, they're going to think, what? Is this mythology? Is this fabrication? Is this a story you're telling me? Right? Can you imagine describing a tiger to an ancient Eskimo? They probably never seen that before, right? Can you imagine describing a polar bear to a white bear to people, let's say in India? They're gonna look at you like, what? What is that? What is that? Right? So I say all of this to say that European philosophy, European knowledge systems, European ways of life, and European governance structures is not going to work in Africa. That is a fact. And the more Africans use these systems, the more they're going to suffer, the more they're going to become sick. Because these philosophies, that governance structure, that way of life is foreign to Africa. And the reason why Africans are suffering today is because they forgot who they are. You have an ancient tradition. You have philosophies already. You have a way of living already, right? That's best suited for your geographical reality. This is why when you evolve, it's not from somebody else's foundation, but it has to be within your foundation. You get it? There are many different types of foundations that can exist in the world. The Chinese foundation, right? Whatever they've built for themselves can work for themselves because they had to deal with certain pressures that forged them into becoming who they are today. It's the same thing with African people, right? The pressures, the environmental pressures, the climatic realities is going to forge you to become a specific type of people. And your philosophies can only work within your geographical context. That's why you cannot adopt other people's systems because it's not going to work that well. It may not work at all. And this is the source of Africa's problem. This is the reason why Black people are sick. It's simple. It is very, very, very simple. Your geographical location informs you of certain philosophies and a way of life that's beneficial for that reality. So by adopting or taking in other people's religions, other people's governance structures, other people's way of life, you will suffer. You're not going to work. You're not going to be healthy. You're not going to function at 100%. You're always going to perform 60%, 70 maybe. And it also depends on the oppression that you've gone through, right? It also there's many things that determines how well people function, right? So this is why black people are sick. If we keep on taking in other people's ways of life, if we keep taking in other people's worldviews, right, and then trying to superimpose it upon our different contexts, we're going to be a sick people. We're always going to be a sick people. So this is why it's best that African people build upon their own foundations. It's crucial that African people take their own philosophy and they evolve it for the realities of 2026. Take their own knowledge systems, evolve it for the context of 2026. That way they can be healthy, right? This is why Christianity causes dysfunction in Africa. This is why Islam causes dysfunction in Africa. This is why, European ways of thinking, survival of the fittest, it's not beneficial in Africa. It's not. That's just one reality forged in the code. But you never experience what the Europeans experience. So your philosophy doesn't tell you to compete, right? You grew up in abundance. So your philosophy is more about cooperation. Honestly, oh man, I mean, I could go on and on about this, but until we learn to love ourselves, and loving ourselves is not just loving your skin color or loving who you are. Loving yourself is about loving what your ancestors gave you, right? Whether it was good or bad, you take their knowledge systems and you improve upon it. Whatever was good, you take, you keep. Whatever is not beneficial, you eliminate. But it's uniquely yours, right? That's how you advance. That's how you evolve. So please like this video, hype this video up, share this video, please. Comment if you agree, comment if you don't agree. Peace.